Boricuas, bro. Boricuas are some diverse people, boy. I've been hearing it all the time, and later on you're gonna hear my little, my lecture on linguistics, like, you know what I mean? And when I hit off on the linguistics on the Tainos, boy, there's one thing that I hear my Dominican cousins, they be like, yo, but what about us, bro? And it's like, yeah, but you us, bro. Like, you know what I mean? But whatever. You know, I met this young cat here, man, on the internet while we was doing our Borikemetics internet stuff. He lived in the Dominican Republic. He's half Puerto Rican, half Dominican, like the rest of us are. And like he came to the city real ambitious to work. Like, you know, he got the spirit of getting ahead in him. Like, you know what I mean? You know, times are tough out there, you know, and only the strong survive. And my man came over here, and in less than a few months, man, he was so focused on what he was doing. Like, you know, he's not a scholar like a lot of us here. He's not a written word poet like a lot of us here. He's not a singer. But you know what? Youngblood has something to say, and Borikemetics gonna give him that mic. Yo, Gavriel, come here, man. Yo, blow him away, cousin.
I don't need a mic, though. I'll do anything, though. All right, so basically, I just got something real short. You know what I'm saying? It's about Ramon Emeterio Betances, the father of the Puerto Rican nation. Honestly speaking, I wrote this honestly like if we was in school again, like the school was next day, I had to do it right away. You know what I'm saying? I learned something that I didn't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I want to share it with everyone. Because when we talk about Ramon Emeterio Betances, like it says right here that he rose up together in the case of his freedom and the independence from Spain. Dr. Ramon Emeterio Betances, apart from being a revolutionary, he gave a lot more to us, you know what I mean, as Puerto Ricans. So I just want to read this piece right here. So whether Ramon Emeterio Betances was residing in Europe, communicating with the Cuban Jose Marti, or in New York City con Segundo Ruiz Belvis gathering Boricuas, or if he was in the Caribbean con Gregorio Luperón, there's no doubt that he honorably participated in the liberation and the democracy of not only Puerto Rico, but Dominican Republic, Haiti, and Cuba. Disregarding for a moment his desire to bear arms and the 1868 Grito de Lares, his wealth and his education allowed him to compete against the Spanish Empire in an intellectual manner. He was a doctor involved with the help of the Dominican Republic, Cuba, France, and especially Puerto Rico. He fought against the cholera epidemic of 1856, sometimes visiting the sick by horseback. Sometimes he didn't get no sleep. So the man was doing his fight. He was fighting the common fight in another way, in an intellectual manner. He created a hospital called San Antonio where he serviced anyone, even if they couldn't pay, whether you was black, whatever you was. And if you had money, then he'll charge you because he was a hustler. So check it out. Listen, he was a well-known political and literary writer. In 1867, he wrote the 10 Commandments of Free Men, when Article number 1, he declared an end to the slavery in Puerto Rico. Inspired by Haitian revolutionary leaders who struggled to make Haiti a free republic, he translated writings of Wendell Phillips. He was a white American man, advocate of Native Americans, and a member of an slave society in North America. Betances also wrote an essay of his own in French about the Haitian leader Alexander Pétion. Ramon Emeterio Betances was interested in using this Haitian man's political ideas in Puerto Rico, which is something got me like, whoa, because the guy was black, you know what I'm saying? So he was not embarrassed to use a black man's political ideas and move forward with his nation because he had a lot of desire. So he was born to a wealthy Dominican farm owner in Puerto Rico in Abril 8, 1827, during a period when the Spanish were unlawfully governing Puerto Ricans and they considered all blacks to be inferior. He showed his first signs of activism at an early age when he criticized the mistreatment of African slaves, his father's denial of their African ancestry, and the law that didn't allow different races to get married. Quick thing, his sister, they had to change their name from the Book of the Mulattoes, I believe, to the Book of the Whites, just so the father changed their name. So Ramon Emeterio Betances era bien orgulloso de su heritage, and he was like, no, man, I'm African, you know what I'm saying? So he was like, that's what I am. So his sister had to marry some white dude. They had to change their name. But you know what? The father was just doing that for the well-being of Ramon Emeterio Betances because he loved his son. Sometimes we do things for our kids, and we do it, we know it's wrong, but we do it because we want to do it for the best of their lives. So having lost his mother, he lost his mother at 10 years old. What kind of life? That's a hard life, man. He lived his adolescence in France. There's no doubt that the revolution which awaited him in France and the intellectuals that he met along the way influenced into becoming Puerto Rico's first revolutionary leader and the man credited with the ending to slavery in 1873, perhaps an endeavor that his father would have wished he never participated in. According to him, Puerto Ricans were not Spanish property, and he wanted all Boricuas to feel part of their heritage when he wrote The Two Indians, Los Dos Indios, having to do with the conquista de Borinquen. He depicts the Borinquen Indian as a man of nature, as a man con orgullo, a hard worker about his family, smashing el concepto de que los Borinquen Indians were uncivilized savages. That was cool. In order to deliver a message, Ramon Emeterio Betances, this nationalist, he put aside his gun and bullets, and he grabbed a pen and pad. He reached in his pocket, but not to reload his rifle, but para sacar chavo, para comprarle clavo, and to free them, to give them liberty. Ramon Emeterio Betances gave what he could and never more. He was a just man who completely dedicated his life to the cause of freedom and the well-being of all Puerto Ricans. That's that. Thank you very much.